Our learning target for today's lesson is to simplify expressions with rational exponents. Remember, the word rational means a fraction. So we are going to be looking today at exponents that have fractions in them. So for our essential understanding, it tells us that we can write radical expressions in an equivalent or equal form using a fractional, rational, exponent instead of a radical sign. So in general, if we're taking the nth root of x, remember n is your index, x is your radicand, that's the same as x to the 1 over n. This works for any positive integer. So if we had the square root of 36, remember there's that 2 in the index, that gives us 36 to the 1/2. These are equivalent because they mean exactly the same thing. Same thing here, a third root means 64 to the 1/3. A fourth root would be 16 to the 1/4. So the first thing we're asked to do is to write each radical form and then simplify. So we need radical and we need to simplify. This is 216 to the 1/3. That's our index. So we're looking at the cube root of 216. Then we use our blue sheets or our white sheets if we had Mr. Pouliot. And we find that the third root of 216 is 6. Here we have 7 to the 1/2, so that's the square root of 7, times another square root of 7. And we know that that's square root 49, but that simplifies back to 7. We can also do these the exact opposite way. They want us to write each rational expression instead of a radical. So our radicand is x. The exponent, remember there's a 2 in there, so it's going to be to the 1/2. Here this would be 7 to the 1/5. Sometimes we go on a bit further than that, and we've got a couple of numbers in our fraction, and that's what's going on here. Like if we have a to the m over n, the bottom number is still your index, and the top number stays the power inside. And we can write that with or without the parentheses. And it kind of varies from problem to problem. So in essence, what we're looking at over here on the side is, what does the fraction mean? The top number is your power, and the bottom number is the index. So let's see how that looks. They ask us to write the following in radical form. That means you need a radical. 7 is the radicand. X is the radicand. 7 is the index. And the power is 3. So we can write the cube root of x cubed. The 7th root of x cubed. Or we can write the 7th root of x cubed. Generally, this is how we're going to do it in our class. So this next one, we read it as y to the 2/5. That means a 5th root of y to the 2. Again, the bottom number is the index, the top number is the power. And here's a challenge for us at the end. We have 2.5. Well, 2.5 is 2.5, and 2.5 is the same thing as 5/2. So that is the equivalent of z to the 5/2. And so that's equal to, the index is 2, so a square root of z to the 5th. So that's what we do when we have a rational or a fractional exponent. Now we want to start with the radical sign and end up with a fractional exponent. So remember, in this first one down here, our index is 2. So that's going to be a. The power is 5, so that's on the top. The index is 2, so that's on the bottom. We want to avoid making it look like this. Okay, that's no good. The 5/2 needs to be as an exponent. Here we've got the radicand b. The power is 3. The index is 5. So b to the 3/5. In this next one, we have a square root. So there's a couple of different ways we can write this. I'm going to separate them as 5 to the 1/2, because this is just 5 to the 1, times c to the power 9 over 2. So 5 to the 1/2 times c to the 9/2. In the challenge problem for this, they ask us 25 is a power of what number? Well, 25 we know is 5 squared. So we'd say that's the cube root of 5 squared, which means we have 5, power is 2, index is 3. And that's how we work through those. Rational exponents are very important when we get to fractions dealing with real-world problems. So here we have a problem about planetary motion. Kepler's third law of orbital motion shows how you can approximate the period p in Earth years it takes a planet to complete one orbit of the sun. Like for us, it takes 1 year. Use the function, oh, I love it when they give us the equation, p equals d to the 3/2, where d is the distance from the planet to the sun in astronomical units, which 1 AU is about 93 million miles, or the distance from Earth to the sun. Finally, a question mark. This is what we need to answer. How many Earth years does it take Mars to orbit the sun? Well, they want to know how many Earth years, so that's going to be our p. The distance, according to our picture over here, is 1.52. 1.52. And then it says it's to the 3/2 power. This is a calculator problem. So let me pull up the graphing calculator. I've typed in 1.52 already. To get to the exponent, I'm going to use my caret key, and it popped us up high. And then I'm going to just type in 3 divided by 2 and press enter. So it's 1.87 Earth years. I would like to show you one more thing on the calculator. I was going to call it a calculator cheat, but maybe a calculator strengthener is better. When we were up at this problem, let's say you had no idea how to make 2.5 into a fraction. We can do that on our calculators. If I push 2.5, and I just enter it so it's sitting there, push the math button and choose number 1, the frac, push enter, enter, 5/2. So that's a way to get around struggles with fractions. On our last page of notes for today, we're going to simplify and put all of this together. The first thing we have to do is take care of any negative exponents that we have. The second thing is you're going to put the root into the problem. And remember that the top of the fraction is the power. So what's left on this problem, 9 to the 3/2, we know 3 is going to be the power, 2 is going to be the index. So we have the square root of 9. This time I'm going to use parentheses, cubed. The square root of 9 is 3. And we still have the cubed, it just came straight over from here to here. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So we rewrote, and then did the root, then we did the power. So in this problem over here, the denominator is 3, so that will be the cube root of 125, which is equal, the cube root of 125 squared, and the 2 comes out there, the index is down there. The cube root of 125 is 5, and 5 squared is equal to 25. On our next problem here, we have negative 32 to the 4/5. So that's the 5th root of negative 32 to the 4th. And it is okay to have a negative sign with an odd root. So the 5th root of negative 32 is negative 2. Then we have to take that to the 4th power. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is 16. When we have negative exponents, like this next one here, what we want to do is take care of the negative. So that is the same thing as 1 over 16 to the positive 5/2. Remember, when you have a negative on the exponent, what you need to do is flip your fraction over. Since this wasn't a fraction, we flipped it and got 1 over 16. And so that means we've got the square root of 1 over 16, all of that, to the 5th. So the square root of 1 in the numerator is 1. The square root of 16 is 4. And we have to take that to the 5th power. So 1 to the 5th is just 1. 4 to the 5th, I forgot what that was. 4 to the 5th, is 1,024. So that's our answer. For our summary, I want us to include the summary of one of these 4 problems above. So you have to summarize one from above. I'd also like you to write out what x to the a over b would be in terms of like a radical. Like, where does the a, the b, the x go? And the final question I want you to answer is, how can we use our blue sheets to take a shortcut from going from negative 32 to 16? Or how can we use our blue sheets or our white power sheets to go straight from 9 to the 3/2 to 27? It's a challenge question. Make sure you get the worksheet done and check your answers to your worksheet.